Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum, improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, taking green building from grave to cradle by deconstructing instead of demolishing a building. Plus, just in time for the playoffs, a hockey rink that doesn't need water or ice. And creating our region's next generation of civic leaders. But first, the local company that's found a global opportunity in bilge water. The company's called Calgon Carbon, and John Stanik is president and CEO. Welcome, good to have you here.
Thanks for the invitation, Bill.
You're the first person I've ever seen to actually get excited about bilge water, quite frankly. Calgon Carbon's been around for a long time, global leader in carbon filtration, water systems, and everything else. What is it about bilge water that's suddenly become the great new thing for you guys?
Well, it's been something that's been a long time coming, and it's an emerging market that has pressure internationally and has pressure domestically. In fact, the United States Coast Guard just published the regulation that will control the treatment of this wastewater. So,
Sorry, for people who don't know what bilge water is, where does it sort of fit into a ship?
Oh, good point. As a ship takes on load, or as it discharges load, in order to remain buoyant, it takes on something called ballast water in order to keep the vessel afloat and keep it balanced.
Okay, and then the water gets discharged or pulled in depending on what they need to balance
depending on whether
the load.
Yes.
Okay, why does that become an environmental issue?
Well, for this very simple reason, the water comes from a certain location, so it's put into the ballast tanks, and along with that water comes all of the marine life, both microscopic and macroscopic, and it stays in that capacity in that ballast tank until the ship load changes. And then at some point the ballast water needs to be discharged. When the ballast water is discharged, then all that aquatic life that came from point A has now been transported to a new ecology. And it does tremendous damage.
Can be from one continent to another continent, across an ocean or whatever. And we've heard a little bit of this thing about invasive species, even around here with the whole zebra mussel issue that's been going on for years.
Asian carp, zebra mussels.
Okay.
Not only that, but bacteria and other issues from a microscopic perspective that can create a lot of damage.
Okay, so the world's finally caught on to this in terms of what, putting regulations in place that now they got to treat the ballast water as bilge water?
Yes. So there's two facets. As I mentioned, there's the United States Coast Guard who has put the regulation in place, and there's another authority called the International Maritime Organization that is preparing and trying to enlist countries around the world to subscribe to this regulation. And at this point in time, it has set a goal of 30 nations to subscribe, containing approximately 35% of the world's shipping tonnage. Wow. 33 countries have subscribed, so they have passed that hurdle, but unfortunately we're only at 26.7 million tons. Okay. So it's coming, and I personally believe that with the advent of the Coast Guard regulation, I think that a lot of countries who've been waiting to see what the United States is going to do now understands that the two regulations are very similar, and I think that it'll be soon that the IMO comes through with their regulations.
So Calgon Carbon has a technological solution to make it possible to treat this water. Right?
Yes, we do. And our solution is a combination of two elements, one being ultraviolet light disinfection to handle the microscopic elements within the ballast water, and the other is a very special mechanical filtration that operates under significant pressure to take care of the macroscopic elements.
Okay, and what you've been doing some expansion here in our region to kind of lay the groundwork and prepare for this, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's an emerging market. The market analyses that we see indicate that this market will be somewhere between $20 and $30 billion over the next 7 years.
$20 to $30 billion market. Holy mackerel.
There are approximately 65,000 vessels that travel from one location to another that will require treatment The average cost of a ballast water treatment system for something that's about the size of a yacht is about $100,000, and then it can go all the way up to several million for what you would expect an ocean freighter or an oil tanker, that type of thing. So when you multiply those values, over 65,000 vessels, it's a big number.
It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So is this a system that you install on the ship? It's at the port, or how?
It's in the ship.
In the ship. So it's actually something they'll put into the yacht, or they'll put into the tanker or the freighter or whatever
Exactly.
it is. Wow. But you're going to manufacture that around here?
We do. We manufacture the UV systems here in Pittsburgh. We have taken this business. It's currently only been 3 years since we acquired the business. Okay. And we have taken it from 0 to a fairly significant number. We probably have about 180 systems out there that are either in the construction phase or are already out in the water. And we've built quite a reputation in a relatively short period of time. So what we expect to happen as these regs become finalized is to see the market grow very significantly, peaking probably in 2015, 2016. And as a result of that, if we're successful, we expect to require tremendous expansion in both employee numbers and also in manufacturing space. Really
great to see that happening right here in our region. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, fascinating stuff, though. So the new words to live by, look into the future, is ballast water, I guess. It's the new opportunity. John Stanik, President and CEO of Calgon Carbon. Best of luck with the new effort.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, next up, Ultra Skate, the hockey rink without the ice. We'll meet the local entrepreneur who's brought the idea to America. Stay with us.